Hello Oracles, Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. You know what this shirt means? We hit another milestone on the channel, 700 subscribers. Thank you all so much for your support and feedback. It is because of you that this channel has grown as quickly as it has. So thank you all so much. I truly appreciate that. Before we get into today's video, I just want to mention that there's a lot of comments that you guys send over. I see the notifications, but when I go to click on it, it says the comment's not there. So I do want to respond to everyone, but unfortunately, some of them aren't there. So I apologize if I have not responded to your comment. Most likely, that's the reason why, because I try to make sure I respond to every single one of your comments. So let's get into today's topic, Tesla stock bears and why they love doubt. I respect everybody's opinion. I respect everybody's analysis of the stock. Even Gordon Johnson and his off-the-handle thinking, fine, I respect him. He's got a decision. He's got his conviction behind it. Good for him. The problem I have is when I'm looking at a stock price and a valuation and where I think it's going to go in the future, I look at different things. And I encourage everyone to listen to the bears because they have a voice, they have their own opinion. It's good to listen to them, but take what they say with a grain of salt because a lot of times they are saying things because they want to make themselves sound right, and they're trying to dig and find whatever little nuggets of negative information that they can and spin it in their own favor to make things sound negative. Again, take that with a grain of salt, listen to it, and just put it in the back of your mind. Don't forget it, don't ignore them, don't tell them that they're stupid, although sometimes it sounds like they are. They're okay. It's okay. Listen to them, accept what they have to say, file it away. But to me, when I'm looking at a stock that I'm investing in long term, I try to look at truth and trends. And while I find that there's always a little bit of truth in everything somebody says, it's the trends that really push us to where we want to go. And I look at the deep underlying meaning of where are we headed, what is the trend that we're following, and where is it going to take us in the future. And one of the trends that I see is that bears thrive on doubt. There's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's FUD. And the doubt is one of the things that they really thrive on. So anytime there's a doubt in something that's going on, the bears pounce on it. So for instance, when we get into Q1 and Q2 of next year, we may see a dip in margins from Tesla because they're ramping up 2 factories. You know, Zach Kirkhorn and Elon Musk have also both said that, that's going to happen. That happens when you ramp up a factory. So when you're looking at that, they've already set the table for the reality and the truth of the situation. When it comes to it and that happens, the bears are going to be like, I told you that there's going to be low margins. I told you they weren't going to be able to keep those up. And that's going to be that doubt. And they're going to thrive on that to try and drive the prices down because that's what they do. And they're also the ones that are out there throwing out that, Elon is selling his stock. That's not a good thing for the Tesla stock. But we all know the reality of that. And the truth behind that is that Elon has shares that are expiring, options that are expiring in August of next year. He's got to sell them. And he's got a tax bill that'll pay on that. And so Elon's doing his thing to take care of that. It was something we knew was coming. That's the truth. But the bears are going to spin it in their favor to make it sound like they are right and the stock is overpriced. And one of my favorite doubts that these bears have is the EV market share that Tesla has. And they continuously pit EVs against EVs and say, Tesla's losing market share to BYD. Tesla's losing market share to Lucid. Of course they are. That's how business works. Guess what? Apple lost a ton of market share to Samsung and to all of these Droid phones that came out. Guess who's still the leader? Apple. That's what happens. But in reality, it is not EVs versus EVs. It's EVs versus ICE. And the entire automotive industry is enormous. And EVs only have a 3% piece of that. So as we're growing into this, yes, Tesla's going to lose market share if you're looking at it as far as EVs versus EVs, but they're going to continue to grow their business and they have a huge market to grow into because eventually the ICE market is going to be gone. It's going to melt. ICE is going to melt and it's going to be gone, and then EVs are going to have everything. So when EVs, let's say they're only 75% of the market. When EVs are 75% of the market, it's not going to matter if Tesla only has 15% of the market share, because guess what? That 50% of EV market share is going to be so much more of the entire automotive market share. It's not going to matter. They're still going to be a giant, and they're going to be filling the shoes that these bears are saying, oh, they're so overvalued, and they're going to be at that point where they're actually showing their numbers where they need to be and proving what we all know right now that they can accomplish in the future. One of the things I like to relate the bears to is, let's say, an older generation. As new technology comes out and the adoption of that technology, I'll look at, my parents, for instance, getting cell phones and smartphones. And I see it as two different categories. There's a category of people who are just reluctant and refuse. They're so stubborn, and it's because they're afraid of it and they don't want to change, so they're never going to change. But eventually, they'll be gone, and that'll be one less person holding back. The other side of the coin is my parents. My parents were, ready to change. They were just slower to get to that adoption of it, and they had a lot of learning to do. It's a lot of new stuff for them. It's not you can't teach old dogs new tricks. You can, it just takes a little more time. So, they were still learning, and now they have smartphones, and they use them quite well, I would say, for the basics that they need to use them for. That's what's going to happen with EVs. You're going to have a whole bunch of people who are reluctant to change, some people who are just slower to change, but inevitably, they're all going to change. And that is the trend that we are on, is everybody is going to be changing over to EVs. And what train do you want to be on when that whole entire revolution takes place? I want to be on the Tesla train. Let me know in the comments down below which one you want to be on. And as far as I'm concerned, the EV revolution is happening because look at all of the global automakers and the commitment that they have made to investing in this. $500 billion worth of commitment by 2030 by global automakers. That tells me this is happening. The technology is being adopted. The technology is not just being adopted by us as the consumer, but it's being adopted by the producer, which is going to be Legacy Auto and every other manufacturer out there, and new startups like the Rivians, the Neos, BYD. All of these companies are now adopting this, and they're going to make it happen. They're building the foundation of what is going to change in the future. That's the trend I'm seeing, and that's why when I look at bears doubting things, they're just so reluctant to recognize this because they're clinging onto the past, because they're afraid to let go and realize that we're about to come into a place with technology that we've never been before. And yes, it is, the unknown is scary. But as far as I'm concerned, the unknown is coming. We sort of know what it is, so I'm ready to be there. And I am confident in Tesla and Elon Musk and their ability to adapt to this unknown and create it. I mean, Tesla's literally creating this technology of the unknown, and I'm going to be a part of it. And lastly, the most noticeable trend I have seen that really tells me that Tesla is going to succeed in the future is the bears are becoming extinct. They're going away. There are less and less bears now than there were last year. And even the bears now, looking like a Craig Irwin, even he, when he speaks about Tesla, speaks highly of it, but he gives it garbage price targets. Whatever. You see a lot of bears turning into bulls and a lot of bulls turning into hyper bulls. So when you're looking at that trend going, I'm seeing less and less bears, which tells me that they understand and realize what is truly going on. And that's why I am putting more of my money into Tesla stock, because I see it happening. I see the bears recognizing this, and eventually even more people are going to recognize this and flood into it because they realize what's going on. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And thank you again. You guys, oh man, have made this an amazing ride so far. I cannot wait to see where we go in the future. Thank you again so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Give this video a like and sign up for notifications so you can see all future videos that come out. Thank you so much. Quick note, I will not be having a video tonight. My parents are in town, haven't seen them in 2 years. I'm going to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much.